Good morning, everyone. It's another beautiful day, looking like blue skies, clear everywhere, hardly a breeze in the tree, and sunshine. It's gorgeous. And chilly, very chilly. It got quite cold last night. We're autumn. It's wonderful, though, the way the seasons do roll round, even though we sometimes doubt it. And yes, we're in a dire drought in Australia over many areas of it. Yes, we pray for rain. Let's see what comes forward with what our cards are letting us know as well. I'm Boundy, Psychic Medium, bringing you the daily Lenormand card spread reading. So here we go, across to the cards. I'll just do that in a sec. Here we go. Now we're going across to the cards. Here, wow. It's an interesting little spread this morning. We are using the Ciro Marchetti's Gilded Reverie Lenormand deck, the expanded edition. We have two of them from that area of the deck today. We've got the snake in the home space, and we have the card 7. We have card 40, which is one of the expanded area cards, and it's masks in our theme, as our theme. So this isn't actually inner space, it's the overall energy of the day that we're going through today, and it is masks. And we have card 39, the second one that's from the expanded end of it. And this is in our workspace, and it's the dice, obviously, or die if you're doing correct English, because I think 1 dice and 2 die. So there you go. It's a weird language, isn't it, the English language? But that's what we've got. We've got the snake, mask, and die. And here we have our wisdom. That is, look at this, so simple. With love. And that's how I bring every one of these to you, is with love. Okay, I love it. So let's zoom in and check this out in detail. Well, in a little more detail anyway. I mean, I can't be specific for each and every one of you as we go through this reading. What we need to have for your energies is for you to take responsibility in how the interpretations are for you. So you understand your background of how you've gotten to where you are to be who you are, and the environment with which in you live. So, you know, all those circumstances and situations that you live in, you understand more clearly how this is going to mean for you. I'm just but giving us a guidance as such with interpretations, and I take it from what Spirit send through as the impressions that I get as we're reading. Okay, and reading not as in words, but reading as picking up the energies that and the thoughts, and sometimes I see little quick visuals in front. Well, is it in front of my eyes? I just see a visual in the mind, and it's like using your imagination. Don't push it off as being just totally BS. As far as our imagination goes, it is that avenue, I reckon, that it's that perfect avenue that Spirit does use for that connection with us. And we need to be taking more notice of it as we're moving along in our life and living our daily, well, whatever we're doing, living a life, not just letting it cruise past us. We live it, be in those present moments. And with the mask here, oh, good morning, Corinna. I just noticed your comment popping up. Lovely to see you this morning. First off the ranks, and that gorgeous little blue heart. That looks like the clear blue skies I've got outside. It's actually very spot on for that. So with the mask here as our theme, what we've got the different directions, and we can imagine that on the other side of this there is another facet of what we can see of this mask. So it's very intriguing, because I imagine this being on a carousel almost, and being able to turn it whichever way you want. What we have is one that faces, we've got one that's got the sun as its little icon there, and the moon on the other side. It indicates a bit more that balance that we have. You know, we've got green streamers, yellow streamers. It's maybe that does represent different aspects of having joy in our life and being able to really have the energy. Streamers need the energy, the wind, the air flow to stream out and, you know, really fluff. fluff and show off their stuff, so to speak. I've got a mobile hanger out my window. It's a static circle, but it's done in the way that the cuts, as the wind moves through, it turns it around, and it is actually it's like the zodiac wheel that's turning around, and it reminds me of the global aspect of where we live, but also that it's part of the cosmic, because it's relating to the stars and the planets and everything else out and about us. This feels to me like that is connected to that cosmic, because we've got the focus here of the connection with that light, or that brings us that connection with the light. Now, are these other parts of this arch? I've never really noticed in this mask card that this mask is wrapping around what is two arches. Here we've got the pillars that it looks like, well, I thought they were the handles. I'm just seeing there's arches. So it's bringing forward to me something that's taking us through a gateway, through that passage of knowing. And we've got that bright light at the top that indicates, and I'm not even sure what it is in there. No, it's almost like the lighthouse. A bright light. I'm not going to pick it up because it disrupts what is the rest of the cards, but it's got that little peak right at the top that you can hardly see in this looking through a camera, but in seeing it more closely, it definitely is that is focusing and pointing up, almost like it's lighting that pathway to the crown, the star, the chakras. We do have chakras through our body, and the crown chakra then leads to the star chakra and further beyond. And that's where I'm feeling that connection is happening today. And it includes our solar system and beyond. That's where I'm feeling this connection, and the archways is almost like that feels like cathedrals, and how we build buildings to glorify that is God. And I'm feeling that connection to that is further beyond as I'm seeing that. So that's why I went into all that description. Okay, so what mask are you going to have facing you, or that you are going to have being your focus today? Is it going to be that is the sunshine, the moonshine, the yin, the yang? What balance are you going to bring to your day? Having what focus, what... it's almost looking through rose-coloured glasses. Sometimes we put on the glasses, the sunnies, and we see different colours. What aspect, what perspective are you going to be looking at your life today? Open your mind to whatever there is that Spirit's guiding you to, because that feels to me like we're taking that step through this. Almost not that we're wearing the mask, but we are putting on a level of understanding that's going to bring us our particular needs today in how we're looking at what we're seeing in our world. I hope that's understandable. Sometimes the words come out feeling like they're a bit garbled. Don't know. What do you feel from that? You can put it in the comments if you like. Now, going to the comments, we've got Fiona who's saying, good morning, Ros, girling all around the globe. Good afternoon or evening. Lovely row of the hearts, thank you, and lovely to have you here, Fiona. And we've got Kerry Ann, good morning, Ros and all. I like that little ankh that's there, or is that a little flower symbol? Sometimes emojis are a bit hard to analyse, aren't they? They're so tiny, tiny, tiny. I need to put on the good glasses, which I do have. Good morning, Ros, and on this lovely sunny day. Yes, it's good. It is a good morning, Shaz. Lovely to see you popping in as well. And we have Keza. Morning, Ros and all. Lovely to see you. And here we've got Fiona's numerology. So it's a 9 for the day number, and what we have is the numbers breaking down into the 11, which is an angelic number, or the 2, because it can be read as both. I like to leave it at the 11 when I see it coming down to that number, because it is that master number. Has a bit more significance. Okay, you know that you've got extra assistance through the day when you see that. So lovely to have the numbers there for us. And yes, I am only moving. This is showing to the Boundy page and the Boundy profile. I think that's the only two of the Facebook ones. For some reason, again, my system would not let me go past 4 destinations. So there you go. And it's on the Psychic Roz YouTube channel and Instagram. Okay, so they're the 4 places you can see this as a replay as well as the live, okay? Now, here we've got the snake in the home space. Ooh, sometimes we don't like seeing the snake, but I don't mind it. It was an interesting little quick little short video that I saw, a child carrying a snake, and she'd found this thing curled up. Oh, it had bitten her 3 times, but she didn't seem at all concerned. Oh, goodness. And thankfully the mother didn't panic. I think it seems to be more of that type of a tree snake, so probably not toxic, but certainly looking fearsome here, as it's protecting hearth and home is what I'm feeling. That is our fruitful aspect of life, that is, you know, that can we actually own the trees and the fruits on it and all the rest? It's Mother Nature that presents all of this wonderful fruitfulness for us. It's also our, you know, when it comes to the people and relationships that we have in our families and friendships, that really it's yes, we grow and develop through it. It's showing the fruitfulness of what is growing within our family space, okay? And we do sometimes need to be protective of it and aware of the outer surroundings, that things are not going to threaten us. And if we feel threatened, you know, stand your ground. It's also in the form of the shape that this snake is presenting with, is almost that closed number 8, which is a very good omen, good, you know, for the Chinese astrology apparently, and I do not know it in depth, but it does mean good fortune and wealth and abundance and that type of thing with the 8. And I think that's because once it's joined, it is actually a no start, no finish type of a symbol, because there isn't a start and a finish, so it just is. And this is what we have for our home space today. I'm thinking it feels like enjoy the fruits that you have within your realm of, and it's not ownerships, your realm of experience and all that you've been through to become where you are now, with this wonderful fruit on the tree, being able to share that with those in your intimate space of home. And that can include house, street, community, town, that type of thing, country, and even to a point global in some aspects. So feel into this, what you are able to contribute to continuing and furthering that, you know, productivity, that nurturing, I think, and being able to, you know, to supply, to be able to care for your family and the friends and the network that you have, that is your personal space, what you would consider to be your personal space, okay? And feel that abundance of it, okay? Yeah, that's where that's all I've got for that one. It just stopped. So, okay, where did I get to? We did the numbers, and Fiona has mentioned, me too, I like to leave it at the 11, but I thought, with the numbers, yeah, thought I'd give the option of the 2 there too. I think that's a very good option. Thank you, Fiona, because it does give choice. We all do understand just that little difference at times. And Fiona, you're on the page that you were yesterday that you couldn't hear. Look, technology, I'm not doing it that way. I discovered that the quality of the stream from the Be Live into 1 or 2 of those channels just wasn't there. It had been pulled down to 360 or something. I don't know whether it was Be Live, or I think it might be the other destinations that were doing it. Facebook does that a lot. So, Sandra, good morning, Sandra. Today I'm going to do some effective communication, but only using mimic and gestures. Oh, that sounds interesting. Part of the responsive relationship mindfulness program. Well, that sounds very interesting. Oh no, yesterday I broke my little toe, now nicknamed Bluey. Uh-oh. Oh, that sounds painful. Healing to you very quickly with that one. That would have been, I'm sure, an oh moment. Anyway, let's keep moving onward. I'm trying to do these in 15 minutes. I'm not being successful on that. Here we go with the die or dice. I like, dice sounds multiple to me. English language being as weird as it is in the workspace. Now, I love the number 39 because it's the multiples of 3. So no matter how you break it down in numerology terms and the rest, it starts with a 3. Like here we are, it goes to 12. The 1 and the 2 is the 3. And 3 is my favourite number. So there you go. I love this card. I love the 39 as a number. And we've got all of the numbers facing on this particular photo, the depiction of this one with the 2. So it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 being shown with 2 dice, and we're given all the opportunities of what is possible being shown here from that 1 dice. So on the 2 die, it shows all the numbers. Okay, so in the workspace, as work, whether you work for someone else or you're a business owner or the rest, just have a look at what possibilities there are. The potential is there to be anything. So as soon as you throw those die in the air, you've got hold the breath and wonder what's going to land, what 2 numbers. I just love playing Yahtzee because of that very reason. It's the surprise factor of what are we going to get out of those 5 die. We've got 2 here. It doesn't matter what number there is. What we're given as the message is the playfulness, the unexpectedness, the being flexible, having that sense of wonder as the die are in the air and they fall, then and work with what you have from that point. So it's like some of the decisions that we have going around in our mind. It almost feels like it's on the merry-go-round. Or the other factor that we can use as chance type of thing is the chocolate wheel. And, we give it a hoik and a spin, and when it stops, that's what the choice is. Move on from that using what facilities, what resources, whatever it is that it's landed on, use that as that next step to move forward. And you can add to that, of course, by continuing the roll of the die until the game is finished, until the goal is completed, because it does remind me of that game of Yahtzee with this. And there is a certain number of rolls that you have with the game, and then the game is finished. With one, it's hard to do it with one person, but 2, but it's fun. Bring the team into it and have some fun with it. But it is at that point where once that die is rolled, you take the step and you work with it. You move on. It goes into what, it completes. It really does. Okay? So, from that, what we're getting is really setting in with whatever it happens to be. Like we've got this one facing that way, that one facing towards the workspace, the sun towards the home space, the moon towards the workspace. I'm trying to get my thoughts together. There's something that went flashing through and now I can't pick it. But it all does combine into being that we're moving ahead with and connecting with whatever the next step is. So maybe for what we've got with our workspace, some of those ideas that have been in the shadows in that moonlight are going to really shine forward today, with the sunshine really glowing and giving warmth and nurturing to the home space situation so that we can continue to grow, because everything that is alive needs light, needs the sunshine, and we do need the rest with the moonshine too. That it's the day and the night. We move through our cycles of life. Okay, so that's my summary. I'll leave it there. And Keza, thank you so much. Have a beautiful day to everyone. And thank you so much too to everyone for your wonderful healing vibes and energies as I've been moving through with this rash. It's nearly on the end of it, hopefully. So at least it's not as itchy as it was. So I'm going to be at home today and then moving into going to the volunteering tomorrow if the scabby bits are finished. I don't want to go with anything that is left hanging on the face so, that's open. That's the way that the particular skin thing works, impetigo. I actually did look it up to get it pronounced right, impetigo. Anyway, it's lovely to have had your wonderful thoughts and energies and healing vibes sent my way. I love you all and fully appreciate that I've received. Thank you. And we'll move to probably being a bit earlier tomorrow. So have a wonderful day today. Be the best you, and namaste until tomorrow.